Hi folks, so where am I today? Well, that is not my dining room wallpaper behind me, is it? That's for sure. So I'm not at home, I'm out and about. I'm actually on a ferry, heading over to France for a little bit, so there'll be some content coming up from French France. Anyway, early morning here, getting on the ferry in Poole, and it's breakfast time. So that means I'm having breakfast on a ferry. Let's go see what I got. Right, so it's pretty busy on this ferry. Lots of people coming into the breakfast room. It's a morning ferry, leaving at 8:30. So I guess a lot of people have had to come to the port, a bit like we have, early enough to check in, too early to have breakfast before you leave. So everyone's piling into the breakfast rooms. So it's a canteen style arrangement here. You just go in, queue up, ask for what you want. This time of day, they're really only doing English breakfast, and they've got some croissant and some pastries and whatever. So what we've got here is the full English. So it comes with 2 fried eggs, 2 little sausages, a couple of bits of bacon, half a tomato, hash brown, some beans, and half a slice of toast. That's €8.50. Little bread roll that I've got to make a bacon sandwich out of or something is another 75 cents. And a cup of coffee, just out of a machine, so it's probably not going to be great, is €2.50. So what does that come to altogether? That's 11.75 euros, so about a tenner, I guess. So let's get a little bit of salt over the top of the beans and the eggs, and we'll give it a try. Right, first up we're going to go with the hash brown. It's a very little one, and it looks pretty soggy, to be honest. It's not the best, but we'll get it over and done with, I think, more than anything. So like I say, the outside is not particularly crispy. Quite soggy. Pretty unpleasant, really. It's yeah, we all know my views on a hash brown on a breakfast. It's not my favourite thing on there, and especially when it's like this. That is not a good start. That's a shame. Try the sausages. Now, again, first impressions, not brilliant. Somewhat overdone, I think it would be fair to say. It looks a little hard. Very, very kind of crispy everywhere. And a bit dry to eat, to be honest. The actual flavour of the sausage isn't bad. Let's try a bit from the other one, where it's a bit less cooked. I got a nice porky taste. Not like an English breakfast sausage, a bit more dense. Like I said, the flavour of the sausage is good. Just the cooking is wrong. Okay, so the hash brown wasn't a good start. The sausage is not much better. What's next? The bacon. So we've got 2 slices of back bacon here. It seems to have been cooked, folded in half, which is a little unusual. But maybe they just need to do that for space reasons or something. Again, pretty average. The fat is not crisped up. It's an unsmoked bacon, which is fine, but it's quite a thin piece. Again, maybe that's why they've doubled it up, to make it look thicker. I mean, the flavour's okay. Just the cookery's not great. I think it's just been cooked in an oven on a sheet tray, rather than fried or grilled. Okay, 3 items down. 3 not so great so far. We'll go with the beans next. Now, these look okay. They seem to have their structural integrity still. Quite a thick sauce. Yeah, they're not bad. A little sweeter than I would like, probably. But in terms of the texture, the consistency, That's okay. That's okay. The best thing so far, anyway. They're going to end up on this bit of toast, I think. Onto the tomato. It doesn't look particularly well cooked in the middle, which is a bit of a problem. I only really like the tomatoes if they're properly cooked through. We'll take a bit from the edge first, see how that is. Kind of a little bit, well, bland, if I'm honest. Not a very tomatoey flavour. You have to cook them down more to get the intensity of the flavour. Okay. Moving on. The fried egg. At least the fried egg looks good. Let's move this bread roll out of the way so we can get a good look at this fried egg. So nice golden coloured yolk. Nicely cooked. I think this is going to be nice and runny. And it is. So that's a good start for the egg. Is the egg going to save the day? Let's see. Let's give it a taste. I'd say nicely cooked all round. There's no burnt or crispy bits around the white. Do you know what? That's not bad. A decent fried egg. The yolk and the white both nicely cooked. Good flavour. Yeah, that is now the best thing on the breakfast. You get the beans on the toast. The toast at least looks nice and crispy. We did buy a pat of butter. You actually have to pay for butter here, but we somehow managed to lose it in between the till and the table, so it's probably on the floor somewhere. But we'll give this a try. Beans on toast. Last little taste of England before we head to France. Yeah, that's good. Just a cheap white bread for the toast. That's fine. Mash up the beans on there a little bit. Not too bad at all. I'll tell you what we're going to do. Get this little bread roll and turn it into a bacon sandwich. Maybe even put a bit of that egg yolk in there, seeing as we haven't got the butter anymore. There we go. That'll moisten things up a little bit. A little bit of egg yolk in there. Spread that all around. Put a piece of bacon in. Yeah, that looks a bit better, doesn't it? So we're going to get that bacony flavour, a little bit of egg yolk, and this bread roll actually feels quite nice. It's nice and kind of crusty on the outside. That's better. Putting the bacon into the roll, it doesn't matter quite so much that the bacon's not cooked exactly how I'd like it. You're just getting the bacon flavour with the bread. And a little bit of that egg yolk. We'll mop some more up. Maybe I should have just had one of these. Right, I've not tried the coffee yet, have I? So let's give that a go. Like I say, this is just out of a machine. I don't have great expectations for it, but it's early in the morning. I did have a coffee before I left the house, but that was 3 hours ago. So let's give this a go. It's a very bog standard machine coffee. Worth €2.50. What's that, about £2? Just over £2? Not really. It's got a very artificial kind of milky flavour. It is reasonably strong, so I suppose that's a plus point. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. Everyone's got here so early, and they know they've got to drive in France the other end, so keep them awake, make sure they don't doze off on the French motorways. Yeah, but it's not great. Okay, so I'm going to finish the rest of this breakfast up, or at least the bits of it I actually want to eat. And then we'll pop upstairs. Maybe we'll go up on the deck and have a little look around up there, and we'll talk about it a bit more afterwards. Time to say goodbye to the UK. We are just heading past Old Harry Rocks. Well then folks, so what do we think of that breakfast? It wasn't great, was it? Get me back to England again. Get a proper English breakfast then. So, let's go through it item by item. Sausages, overcooked, nice flavour to them, but not cooked well. Bacon, similarly, not cooked well, it was alright though. The eggs were pretty much the highlight, they were cooked nicely. Beans, so-so, bit sweet, but nice enough. Tomato wasn't cooked, and the hash brown was soggy. I don't know what to say. On this boat, all they're serving at the moment is breakfast. They've got a bunch of pastries out and doing a cooked breakfast service. So all they're doing is those like half a dozen items. You've got to be able to get that right, even if it's kind of mass catering, haven't you? You'd think, but apparently not. Oh, let's not forget about the coffee as well. Yeah, that wasn't great either. Oh, it's a bit windy, so you might pick that up on the bike. Anyway, score out of 5, 1.5 maybe. That's being pretty generous, I think. So, yeah, you're going to need to get a breakfast if you're coming on this boat, unless you bring something with you. So you're kind of a captive audience. I might just stick to the croissants and pastries next time. It wasn't brilliant. Does it get a green light from Greeno? No way. Whoa, the boat's rocking around now. Definitely not a green light from Greeno. More of a red light. Stick to the pastries. Right, so if you've enjoyed this little look at the breakfast on the Brittany Ferries Barfleur ship, I don't think I mentioned that earlier in the video, we're on the Barfleur, then don't forget, click a thumbs up on there for me, it does help with the channel, and if you'd like to subscribe, well, I'm always very grateful. Right, we're off to France. They're definitely going to have some better food in France than we've had on this boat, aren't they? You gotta think so. I'll see you on the next one.